Welcome to our U.S. briefing program. Today, we're diving into some significant news stories making waves across the globe. First up, President Trump's recent decision to impose a 10% tariff on most imports is stirring up quite the controversy. While he claims it's a move to support domestic manufacturing, economists are warning that it could lead to higher prices for consumers and even a potential recession. It's a classic case of unintended consequences that could hit American households hard. Next, we shift our focus to Europe, where Marine Le Pen's recent conviction for embezzlement has ignited fierce debates about the balance between the rule of law and the will of the people. As she faces a 5-year ban from political office, supporters argue it's a politically motivated attack, while critics emphasize the importance of judicial accountability. This situation is raising questions about how far courts should go in a democratic society, especially when it comes to holding powerful figures accountable. Lastly, we pay tribute to Gene Ward, a beloved figure in Hawaii's political landscape who recently passed away at the age of 82. With nearly 3 decades of dedicated service in the state legislature, Ward's contributions to his community and commitment to public service will be remembered fondly. His legacy is a reminder of the impact one individual can have on their community. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage on these stories. CNN reports that the United States has implemented a sweeping 10% tariff on nearly all imports, a move signed into law by President Donald Trump. This unprecedented measure has triggered widespread backlash from international trading partners and raised concerns among American businesses and consumers. Economists warn that these tariffs, the highest in a century, could lead to a recession both domestically and globally. Trump's aggressive tariff strategy aims to bolster American manufacturing and restore trade balance, but critics argue that the consequences may harm the U.S. economy more than the targeted nations. With the potential for rising consumer prices and declining after-tax incomes, the ramifications of these tariffs are expected to be significant. In another report, CNN discusses the recent conviction of Marine Le Pen, a prominent far-right political figure in France, who was found guilty of embezzling European Union funds. This verdict has sparked a heated debate about the balance between the rule of law and the will of the people, particularly among right-wing nationalists who feel that judicial actions are being used to undermine political opponents. Supporters of Le Pen argue that her conviction reflects a misuse of the legal system, while others contend that it upholds accountability. This case adds to a growing narrative in Europe where populist leaders are increasingly viewing judicial decisions as politically motivated, raising questions about the integrity of democratic institutions and the potential backlash against them. Yahoo US reports on the passing of Gene Ward, a long-serving Republican representative in Hawaii's legislature, who died at the age of 82 after a prolonged illness. Ward dedicated nearly 3 decades to serving his constituents in East Oahu, and his commitment to public service was recognized by many, including Governor Josh Green, who ordered flags to be flown at half-staff in his honor. Colleagues and friends remembered him not just as a legislator but as a true statesman who brought integrity, passion, and a global perspective to his work. Ward's legacy is marked by his advocacy for local communities, support for small businesses, and his service in both the Peace Corps and the Vietnam War, leaving a lasting impact on the state of Hawaii. South China Morning Post highlights the potential repercussions of President Trump's decision to impose a 10% tariff on all imports to the United States, a move that many fear could ignite a global trade war. Trump's rhetoric paints a picture of America as a victim of economic exploitation, despite its historical advantages in the global economic system. The article draws a parallel between Trump's aggressive tariff policies and the actions of Hitler, suggesting that just as Hitler's ambitions contributed to the end of colonialism, Trump's ultra-capitalistic approach could lead to the downfall of capitalism itself. The author speculates that April 2, the day the tariffs were announced, may be remembered not as a day of liberation for America but as the beginning of the end for a capitalist system that has disproportionately benefited the wealthy. Yahoo US reports on the ongoing struggles within the Senate as Democrats mount a fierce opposition to the GOP's budget framework, which is essential for advancing Trump's ambitious legislative agenda. As the Senate engages in a vote-a-rama, Democrats are seizing the opportunity to challenge Republican senators on contentious issues, including the proposed tariffs and cuts to essential programs like Medicaid. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer emphasizes that the Democrats aim to hold Republicans accountable for the implications of Trump's policies, particularly the potential harm to low-income Americans. The article reflects a broader narrative of political tension, as both parties grapple with the impact of Trump's economic strategies on the national debt and social safety nets. Australian Broadcasting Corporation discusses the complications surrounding the potential sale of TikTok's U.S. assets, which have been exacerbated by Trump's recent tariff announcements. The article reveals that the Chinese government is hesitant to approve the deal, which aims to transfer TikTok's U.S. operations to a new entity majority-owned by American investors. While Trump has extended the deadline for this divestiture, the relationship between the U.S. and China remains fraught, with tariffs leading to increased tensions. The article underscores the precarious nature of international negotiations in the backdrop of economic policies that could jeopardize the future of popular apps like TikTok, which are at the center of debates over national security and economic sovereignty. South China Morning Post reports on a distressing incident involving Ukrainians in the United States, where an erroneous email from the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, mistakenly informed them that their humanitarian status had been revoked. This alarming message instructed recipients to leave the country within 7 days or face potential law enforcement actions. The email caused widespread panic among the Ukrainian community, with one parolee expressing her emotional turmoil upon receiving the notification, fearing retribution from the government. Fortunately, DHS later clarified that the email was sent in error, assuring that the Ukrainian parole program remains intact. This confusion comes amidst reports that the Trump administration had considered revoking temporary legal status for thousands of Ukrainians, raising concerns about the treatment of those fleeing the ongoing conflict in their homeland. In a heartwarming narrative from the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, the Yuchi and Pertame people, separated by vast oceans, are united in a profound mission to revive their ancient languages. 4-year-old Zodi Birpaw's storytelling in Yuchi at a language forum symbolizes a significant milestone in the resurgence of this Native American language, as he represents a new generation of speakers. The Yuchi families from Oklahoma have collaborated with the Pertame people of Australia, sharing their experiences and methods for language revitalization. This partnership, sparked by a UN Indigenous Language Workshop, emphasizes the importance of teaching children their native languages to heal from the impacts of historical assimilation policies. Both communities are committed to nurturing their linguistic heritage, with urgent efforts to ensure that their languages thrive for future generations, recognizing that language is integral to identity and cultural continuity. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.